Hey guys, how you feeling out there? I'm Don. Welcome to Rockin' the Country. I am doing a subscriber request today of an artist. I don't think I've reacted to Cody Cooke yet. And I've done over 1,000 videos, so I'm starting to lose a little bit of track of whether I've thought about doing it, whether you've requested a given artist, or whether I've actually done the artist, but I don't think so. But this is Cody Cooke, and I think it's the Bayou Outlaws that are on this one as well, but I know it's Cody Cooke. The Welding Man. And he's from Mansfield, Louisiana. I think that's where he's born, the bit that I do. So that's why I'm wearing the hat that Wendell Hardy sent me. Shout out to you, Wendell, the LSU hat. I've got no idea if Cody is a LSU fan, but odds are pretty good that he would be if he's into football. And let's see, this was requested by Trippy Creations. And you're from South Texas. And I think you said you worked on your first oil rig at age 12. I think that's what you said in the comments, and that's why you requested The Welding Man. I think that's why you requested it. So, Cody Cooke's The Welding Man. Dramatic.
He wakes up about 5 in the morning. He makes his lunch and then he gets going for a long day on the pipeline in the burning sun. He shows up and then he rolls out. He's got 12 to go and some pipe to weld out. So he cranks up the Lincoln and waits for it to idle down. He'd rather drink, he'd rather hunt, he'd rather go fishing or work on his truck. But it pays for all of that, so I tell you he will show up.
That's a fact.
This is the story of the welding man, burning down the pipeline and tying it in. Burning rod after rod, and let me tell you, boy, it never ends. Well, the money is good, don't get it misunderstood, but there's things he'd rather do than drop his hood. So he burns them rods, and let me tell you, he's a hell of a hand. This is the story of the welding man.
All right, I'm so glad he answered that question, because he says he gets paid well. And I was going to ask that question. I didn't think they'd address that in the song. But when I see these specials of welders of like building like, you know, skyscrapers, and they're up there and they pull, and then you see like just like this, it's not sparks flying, I don't think, but maybe it is sparks. But, you know, and I learned at some point that there are at least 2 different types of welding. There's like arc welding. Is that like electricity, like where it shoots a charge of electricity into it? And then the other is, you know, I don't know what fuel they use for it, but all right, let's get back to the song. Maybe he answers this.
It's a hard life to live away from family and friends, driving job to job just to make his ends. And the next job he's on, he don't know where it is. His lady's always on the phone telling him to come home because he's always gone and she don't want to be alone. But that welding man, he's gotta keep on keeping on. And then he rolls on.
There's a price we pay just for waking up in the morning. I heard that quote a couple of years ago, and I'm thinking it right here.
This is the story of the welding man, burning down the pipeline and tying it in, burning rod after rod, and let me tell you, boy, it never ends.
How long are those rods?
Well, the money is good, don't get it misunderstood, but there's things he'd rather do than drop his hood. So he burns them rods, and let me tell you, he's a hell of a hand. This is the story of the welding man. The story of the welding man.
That was dramatic. Dramatic representation of a hard job. I mean, welding. What are the good parts of that job, though? There's got to be something cool about it. I mean, I know it's hard, and I don't know, when something goes a bit wrong, you burn yourself and all that. I mean, not war wounds, but the wounds. But then you've got folks who are on like oil rigs who have to weld. And I don't know, that's maybe a whole different level, because then you're way up also a lot, or maybe down low. A lot of curiosity I've got about that, because I loved working with my hands. I don't do it as much now as I did. But when I had a shop and I worked with wood, and yeah, I had I would solder a bit, but that's not when you're roughing in lines or, plumbing or whatever. But this is a whole different level. I remember a couple of years ago when I was taking care of my mother in Florida, and there was a solar eclipse. And I don't know, solar eclipse, everybody wants to see them, but this was like a rare one, and it was going to be like a long time. Everybody wanted to get those filters that, those sunglasses. Amazon was out of them. Home Depot was pretty much out of them. But welding masks have the filter in them that allow you to look at the sun. And so Home Depot actually had a sign on the door that said, welding masks are non-returnable. Because people were going in to get them, they were going to use them and then return them. They said you can't do it. But that kind of gives you an idea of like the nature of the work. When you've got to put a filter that allows you to look at the sun, you got to put that on your equipment daily. That gives you an idea of what you're dealing with. Trippy Creations, you could speak way more to this. I can't completely do it justice. I could do it a little bit of justice and open the door up for you to share your thoughts down below. And some of the other folks, somebody a couple of years ago had commented that he laid in the Midwest somewhere, was laying pipe out there, so you're away from home a lot, and that's just the nature of the beast. You're with somebody, but your job takes you away. Entertainers deal with that. They're on the road a lot, whatever. And then the person you're with who's back home misses the heck out of you, because their life, they want to be with you. Their heart says, come home. And then you don't know where your next job is. As a welder, I assume you've got a lot of work, but maybe that's a false assumption. So oh crap, I gotta rate that thing. I like being brought into another world that I don't know about. That was a dramatic representation of someone's work. I did like the instrumentation. It had like an ominous feel to it, but I don't know if a welder's career is that ominous, the way it's presented in here. I'm not part of that, I try to connect to it, but I'm going to rate that song. I was riveted. I was shocked that it ended so quickly, which is a testament to how good a song actually is. So we're coming in at an 8.6. I was drawn into that song, just drawn in. Wow. So anyway, the door's wide open for you guys to share your thoughts on the song, the lifestyle, whatever it is, because I know some of you do this for a living. And maybe Trippy Creations, you could share your thoughts too. So that's it. Cody Cooke, and I don't know if the Bayou Outlaws performed on this or not, but certainly Cody Cooke's name is attached to the whole thing here. The Welding Man, 8.6, and there you have it. Have a great day. I'll see you on another video, and keep rocking the country.